Welcome to the 2019 Klamath Falls City Schools Retirement Celebration. A who's who in Hollywood is here tonight, all ready to recognize our stars as they move on to retirement. Tonight, let's roll out the red carpet and celebrate our special guests. To present our honored guest tonight, we have one of Hollywood's greats from the past. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's Master of Ceremonies, all the way from The Tonight Show from 1990, Johnny Carson.
That's okay, keep on applauding. I can just picture retirees who many people come to them and say, "Why are you still working?" I can just picture their response being something out of a Clint Eastwood movie. So, I bet you're wondering, do I have 5 or 6 years left of work in me? And to tell you the truth, with all the excitement around here, I kind of lost track myself. But I'm one of the most valuable workers in the world, and I could work my tail clean off. The question you have to ask yourself is, do you feel lucky to have me? Well, do ya, punk? I'm gonna keep working and working and working. Go ahead, make me play.
Maggie, you are my Magoogle, as I'll call you. Anything I need to know, I just go to you, punch it in, and you spit out the answer. You are a woman who knows so much about the program, the laws, everything we need, and sometimes you know things about us that we don't even know about ourselves, but that's okay.
Maggie's one of the most organized people around. She can organize everything. She keeps me straight on all that paperwork I have to do, so.
Hi, Maggie. I just want to let you know some of the things that I appreciate about you. Over the years, you've been a lot like a timepiece, maybe a watch, and a compass for me. You keep the gears of the timelines that are associated with mountains of special education paperwork.
Maggie I've known for over 20 years. She started out at Henley Elementary while I was there as a speech path. Her kids grew up around me, as did my son. She absolutely loved my son. He's kind of an unusual kiddo, but she thought he was the greatest thing.
You're like a compass. You keep me on track with your prayers and your encouragement when I get frustrated over a million different kinds of things that happen in life. You also kind of model exactly what's in our ECI logo. It's all about relationships. From the minute a little kid walks through the door with their parent, you're right there, welcoming and being delighted with the child until the minute they walk out the door with the sticker that you had hidden somewhere, and they go home feeling good about themselves, and it's a hard experience to start out.
And so, as you move on to retirement, I just want to wish you the best up in the Redmond area, and I hope you and Dilly find that perfect piece of land you're looking for.
And I just have one question for you. You know, you've often said that you ride your broom, and I meant to bring it with me, doggone it.
Happy retirement, have fun.
Please give a warm round of applause for Maggie Carruth.
Tonight, Howard Cosell reports from Madison Square Garden. Take it away. Killa, what happened to you out there during the second round of tonight's fight? You went out there full of determination, the experience and know-how of any fighter I have ever seen on the American scene. Yet you completely fell apart during the second round. Killer. The big question that all America's waiting for. What happened?
Well, to tell you the truth, I'm retired, you know. I mean, I've been training Creed, you know. Yeah, Rocky Balboa here, sorry about that. You know, I don't want to fight no more, all right? I want to retire. Just like this next person we're going to watch, they want to retire too.
So Don and I started together 15 years ago at Ponderosa. Together we met and kind of excited for our new adventure. And then 15 years later, we're still together. Look at that, with all the different things.
Yeah, I really liked working with you, spending time in the classroom with you. Appreciate all the years hearing the stories of back in Florida, all the years you put in there, and then all the years you put in at Klamath Falls, at Ponderosa and KU, and also at Klamath Learning Center and JDH.
He is the kindest, sweetest guy. I love talking with him. He had the best stories. So if you ever see Don, ask him about his concert stories. Those were my favorite. Of course, the one about Alice Cooper is still my favorite.
You're an inspiration not only on the job, but also with the miles you put in, walking and staying healthy. One of these days, my ambition is to be like you.
He has worked at many positions and just generally a happy guy. I will miss him. I love talking with him and seeing him in his different worlds and different positions. And I hope everything goes well and his life is fun.
It's great to work with you, Don, and enjoy retirement, enjoy your hikes and all the other outdoor activities and spending more time with your wonderful wife.
Let's give it up for Don Hauk.
Well, you know, I actually wrote something out here, and I wanted to tell you how lucky you are, and how lucky you are to work here. And over the years, there's been a lot of people coming through. And I imagine it going down something like this. Well, what's that? You want me to work at KU? Well, that sounds pretty good. Well, what do I get out of it? What's that? Afford my own house. Okay. Buy my wife a lot of fine Walmart clothes. Sounds pretty good, yeah. Well, what about benefits? It comes in pretty handy down here, Bob. What's that? Self-esteem, that's my benefits. Okay, well, okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Hunt. No, wait a minute. Doggone it, you spin your little web, you think the whole world revolves around you. Well, it doesn't, Mrs. Hunt. Yeah, my estimation of you, you're nothing but a scurvy little spider spinning your web. Yeah. Doggone it. You ought to retire. Well, that goes for you too, and you too.
Shelley, I just want to wish you the very best in your retirement. I've so appreciated being able to work under you over the last 12 plus years. You haven't just been a boss, but you've been a mentor and a friend, and I appreciate all of your support and encouragement.
Shelley is I think an amazing person in terms of her devotion to the school district and kids.
Shelley has been just a right-hand person for me through the years. She's always there with great advice, always there with the best interest of the students and the staff in mind, and always very thoughtful and creative in her responses.
I appreciate your willingness to think outside the box and encouraging the rest of us to do so as well.
What I've seen as a bystander is, integrity and a real commitment. She, I think, truly approaches everything with, what's best for kids. And I know that's kind of maybe a buzz term, but she looks at every decision and everything from contract negotiation to whatever as what's going to be best for kids, their education and their needs. So I've been impressed with that, from afar.
And the thing about Shelley too is that She is an extremely hard worker that is always willing to do whatever it takes for our district. A tremendously loyal person who has always had the Klamath Falls City Schools as her top priority and has used every one of her gifts and many talents to help our district be successful.
Shelley, I've been waiting a long time to do your retirement video. As a matter of fact, when I first met you, I thought, how can I put this footage into your retirement video? So as you well know, we've been making funny videos for a long time. So I thought we should go back in history and take a look at some of those classic shots.
Misty, did you know each year 8 million people go to the hospital because of falls? Remember, slow down and take small strides in icy conditions.
Feelings.
Nothing but feelings.
You guys, Dr. Who likes a quiet work environment.
To forget my feelings of love.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, all right.
A funny thing is when she comes home from work in her current position as HR director, she usually bursts in and says, I have to pee because I didn't have time at work to pee.
And with the underlying framework of what's best for kids, you always pushed us to look at things that other folks would probably have dismissed. And I think because of that, we did some very good work on behalf of our students and their families.
Many years ago, when I graduated from college, way back in 1977, I wanted to be a teacher. As a matter of fact, I was going to be a music teacher. Instead, I went into management and I had a great career working for the feds, but I always had this desire to teach. And so you made that possible. I could not have got my license without you, and I deeply appreciate it. So for the first time, I've had this document for about 6 months, but I've purposely held off for your retirement because I wanted to show you first. So what it says here, it says State of Oregon, Board of Education, says Daniel Stearns has his digital media and design certificate. And I want to thank you. Not possible without you. Thank you.
She will really be missed, and she leaves tremendously big shoes to fill.
Great person. Obviously, I love her. Our family loves her, and we obviously wish her the best in retirement.
Please welcome with your applause, Shelley Hunt.
Speaking of Tony, she's going to be our next person. We're happy for her. Tony over there, yes. She's been around the district in various positions. No one seems to want her for very long. She's great. She's over a lot of counselors. And, counselors tend to be very approachable. Don't you wish that sometimes, for those rebellious students, that a counselor could just approach them in the hallway, similar in the vein of Liam Neeson in Taken? I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. But I understand that you want to be rebellious. You'll also find that I don't have much patience, but what I do have is a certain set of skills that I have learned over a long period of time. Skills that make a guy like me a nightmare to people like you. If we go to the office now, it'll be done. If you don't, I will look for you. And I will find you. And I will counsel you.
Today I have the privilege of talking about Toni Kellum. You know, my job today is to tell about lots of stories about Miss Kellum. So I could tell stories about how she's famous for her chili and cheese nachos, famous for helping students who have transportation issues get tires, famous for taking the parent phone call that says, "Tony, I think my kid's smoking pot. You've got to talk to him. Please help me." But then I started thinking, you know, when you've touched the lives of hundreds of kids and you've touched the lives of hundreds of families, that would be hundreds of stories for me to tell you today.
Tony and I, we've had various relationships, working relationships over the years. Her and I started as co-classroom teachers in 2001, and we joke about this today that we're so different in the way we manage the classroom and stuff. I'm very, very structured, and she's very not structured, and but in a way that's how we became such a powerful team, is because we both bring different strengths.
Yeah, Tony Kellum, what can you say about Tony? Such a ball of energy with such a student focus. That the thing that's so consistent about Tony throughout the time that I've worked with Tony is that she's always put our students first, and she's willing to work with the most disenfranchised students and help them find success.
So I want to talk about one of the wonderings I have about my friend, who has been my friend for 40 years. I want to know what's up with her obsession to keep her Child's Play bowl filled on her desk.
Tony then went into administration and later was my administrator. She was the administrator of the program when I was a union officer, so we have that unique connection. Later she became a mentor for me as I went into my administration program. And I really appreciate Tony for all the work she's done and how she's supported me personally.
I mean, you know, really, is it about, does she look at that bowl, it's full, she's having a parent meeting, the student gets all hot and testy, the parent's all hot and testy, she reaches over to her bowl and says, let's take a little break and regroup, and then come back and do hard work.
Her love for kids and the way she handles certain situations and stuff is something that I'll hopefully bring to the table and improve as I go on.
Or is it the fact that she looks at that bowl, she looks at the parent, she looks at the student, she looks at that bowl again and says, you know, Tootsie Rolls came out in the 1800s. I had this parent in my personal finance class back in the 1970s. There's hope. We can make progress. This is going to be good. Come on, get in the game. We can be good.
I think when people talk about Tony, they talk about her compassion, doing the right thing, the love she has for children, and I certainly appreciate that in her.
Or does she get such a great smile when people drop by her office to get a bite of Child's Play? Or is it really because they need some loving from Tony Kellum? Yeah. We all love Tony Kellum. Tony Kellum loves on us so well that we want to wish her the best of retirement and know that she's going to continue to keep her Child's Play handy, sharing her love with all of us. Love you, Tony.
I will always think of Tony as a friend and a mentor, and love her and respect the work that she's done. She'll have a lasting impression here in the city schools for years and years to come. Thanks, Tony.
So I've appreciated all that she's done for our district, and I've appreciated her great humor and her positive attitude, which has always made the work seem easier and much more enjoyable.
Oh, what do I want to say about Tony Kellum? Tony is amazing. I'm going to miss her terribly here at KU. I felt very honored when she came over to KU to work with me and to help KU become revitalized, re-energized. She's been the perfect person for this position, and I hope it's been a great way for her to cap out a fabulous 30 years in Klamath Falls City Schools. Thank you, Tony. I'm going to miss you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Tony Kellum.
Many times working in a school system can feel very familiar, similar to like possibly even Hogwarts and Harry Potter. I can almost picture our next retiree, Dave Martin, acting like Severus Snape when approaching a student. So, Mr. DeGroot, wandering the hallway again, avoiding your English class? Do you already feel like you've mastered the language? I assume senioritis has set in. You feel independent, like a John Wayne cowboy, or Bruce Willis, perhaps, in a certain movie. Perhaps I should inform your principal, or a parent, or maybe even the FBI.
12 years ago when I came to KU, Dave befriended me, and we've seen each other almost every day.
Over the last 15 years, there's a lot of amazing stories about Dave Martin, and he's just been a true friend. He came early 2000s, and we had a group of people that played cards all the time, and we finally moved our little group down to the break room. There was Dave Martin playing solitaire by himself. So eventually, we invited Dave to our table, and he's been there ever since.
Speaking about Dave Martin, he will be sorely missed in the English department. He's the person I've always counted on for great feedback, for getting everything. It makes me think of, this moment makes me think of all of us heading down to the small gym in the old building for English department pictures. Every student has to go through the English department for pictures, and all the old timers would sit there and we'd wonder who was going to be retiring next. And now it's your turn, Dave.
Not very often do you find somebody, as a teacher, you get worn out in classes, and throughout my tenure working with Dave, he's one of the only teachers that I've honestly wanted to go just sit in his class so I can learn from him. He's a master teacher. He cares about students.
A couple things about Dave that you never want to do. You never want, ever, to get in a trivia contest or argue sports numbers with him. Dave knows every fact about every sport ever created.
And just the relationship that he builds with his students and the respect that the students give him is something I strive for as an educator myself. A couple of years ago when he had a group of students, a group of seniors that were leaving the school, that stood on their desks and said, "Oh, Captain, my Captain," is their farewell to him. Just shows you the amount of respect the students have for him as an individual and as a teacher.
And that's the power of friendship, is this, we just share an hour a day or 45 minutes a day with each other, and we go on. And that's the cool part with Dave, is he's just a great friend that's always listening, always telling good stories, and always knows anything there's to know about sports. So if you ever want to know who was the MVP of the 1971 World Series, ask Dave.
I can tell you I've learned more about baseball from sitting with Dave at lunch every day than I'll ever know for the rest of my life. He's just a good man, a good mentor, and a good friend.
You've been a good friend to me, and has helped me in some hard times, and I know that you've had your own, done what I could. So I wish you the best, and always hope to keep in touch with you after this, and hope that things are good. Hope that life is excellent after you leave KU. Thank you.
Well, Dave, the card table will always be open. We know you may not be in this town, but you might be somewhere else. But whenever there's lunch at KU, there's a chair that has your name on it. Well, Dave, I hope you just enjoy wherever your next adventure takes you. May God bless you and all that you do.
Please give it up for Dave Martin.
Congratulations. I believe we only have 2 more hours, so just relax. Not really. How many of you remember The amazing Karnak. It looks like I'm performing for about 2 people. The amazing Karnak was an act I used to do where I have an envelope with an answer, a question actually, inside the envelope, and I have the answer before I even open it. The never-ending story.
The never-ending story.
See what the question is here. What is the title of the upcoming book about the KU renovation? I believe we've woken up. Okay.
Mary Ross, she has been in the ECI program for many, many years, and this is a woman that has been extremely committed and devoted to helping families, to teaching childhood development. She's a woman that has an incredibly big heart for children and families. Her skill in the knowledge of medical parts of our program is very substantial. We're going to miss that part of the role she plays in our team.
Mary Ross, what I appreciate about you and having worked with you for the last 5 years is your dedication to the program and the kids and the families. You are just somebody who I can always go to and get an answer. You are a wealth of knowledge and you know so much about little kids and families, and you are just such an asset to the program and to the team up there.
She has always been someone that is easy to talk to. She's a very good listener. As far as families goes, she always able to make a personal connection where they know they can talk to her about anything that's on their mind, concerns they have.
And so, although you're moving to the world of retirement, here's what I want to know. 1, will you still come back and hang out with us sometimes because we still need your expertise? And 2, when you come, can you bring some of that popcorn?
Her wealth of knowledge and her wealth of experience will be greatly missed. We'll especially miss her husband Ipo's popcorn that he would bring pretty regularly to the office for staff to have.
The real ones that you eat, not the popcorns that the kids stomp through and it goes up the sides of the walls at ECI, but the yummy popcorn that you and Ipo are best known for.
So delicious, so we hope that Mary and Ipo, you'll keep bringing us that special popcorn. But we will miss you terribly, Mary. A significant part of our program is leaving, and you really set a lot of the foundation that makes ECI what it is today. So we congratulate you on your retirement and just hope that you and Ipo get to enjoy a lot of free time together.
So I wish you well in retirement, and you are welcome to come back and be part of the ECI family anytime you feel the need.
Please give a warm round of applause for Mary Ross.
Here it is, it's coming. Don't let the door hit you in the derriere.
Don't let the door hit you in the derriere.
I cleaned that up for this group. Actually says something different. What are the final words our retirees will hear on June 14th?
Hi, Gail. Of course, you know who I am. I just want to say thank you for your many, many years of service to the district. You've dealt with some very challenging student population, and I don't know of anybody that could have done it as well as you did.
When I first started driving, I was a sub driver, and then I would cover her bus. And she gave me a lot of good advice, and she's very smart. She was our union rep at the time, and I sure will miss her because she has a lot of knowledge in this field. Good lady, good heart.
Well, it's been a long time. We've been through a lot. It's been great working with you, learning with you.
Appreciate everything you've done for us. Been here quite a few years, and
just remember, you can hang your head high and your hat high because you've had the most important job in the world, and you've gotten our kids, our students to and from school safely, and that's very important. And I appreciate everything you've done. So have a good retirement. Like I said to Carla, retire from the job, but not from life.
Yeah, Gail is an awesome person. She's been our building rep for a very long time.
We're going to miss you. We wish you a happy retirement. And goodbye.
We treasure you as an employee. Thanks so much, Gail. Congratulations.
Please welcome, with your applause, Gail Whitlock.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hold in my hand the last envelope. May the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your armpits. Okay. The Reverend Billy Graham, Dave Martin, and Tony Kellum with a mouse in the room.
The Reverend Billy Graham, Dave Martin, Tony Kellum, and a mouse loose in the room.
Name a preacher, a teacher, and a screecher.
Okay. Carla, thank you for your nearly 2 decades of service to the Klamath Falls City Schools Transportation Department. You will be sorely missed. Please don't be a stranger. We'd like you to come around and say hi to us as often as you can.
Carla, what can I say about Carla? She gave me a hard time when I first started driving because my personal vehicle was out in the drive and I was a little bit over the line, and she made me go out there and move my car. And I didn't know she was just kidding, but I moved it anyways.
Well, let's see. When Carla first started driving full-time, our buses were parked right next to one another. And if I didn't mess with her bus, she would mess with my bus.
We worked with Carla for quite some time now. Carla is definitely an inspiration. She is a role model for not only her fellow bus drivers, but for the students.
She has this great sarcastic sense of humor and such a loving lady. I tell you, she's probably been the best lady I've worked with in a long time.
You've had the most important job in the world, hands down. You've gotten our students to and from school and home safely for quite a few years.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. She's an awesome lady, and we will miss her very much.
We wish you a happy retirement. We're gonna miss you. We love you. Stop by and see us sometime.
She has such a sense of humor. She gives everybody a hard time, and I will miss her so much. I've tried to talk her into not retiring because that's just how wonderful she is. Good heart and beautiful person.
And it's been just an amazing pleasure to be your supervisor and a co-worker formerly. And I hope your retirement is everything and more than you hope for. We're going to miss you. Thanks, Carla.
Please give it up for Carla Draper.